Oh, wow, wow. Well, very good evening. Yeah, a little bit late. Yes. A little bit late because my neighbour rang me at 10 to. So I went across to speak to him and I'm a little bit late, but I'm still here. So, the title, The Future and what the future holds. The future is going to hold work. The work is twofold. So both are side by side. Work being here on YouTube and growing this channel. And good evening. Sorry. I would, delete your comment because you're absolutely wrong. Anyway, the future is full-time employment moving forward. And that was the subject of today's call. So it's good news. And I've set a price as well. The price is wages. So that is set. And now it's a case of getting all of the ducks in a row. And I said ducks, but all of these elements in a row, including with the coding to complete Web Development 3.0, grab the certificate, and then push the second course. So, who have we got? We got Jeremy. Yes, and do you want to know something, Jeremy? The best part is this. I can't sack myself. Yeah. And that's the best part of it. You see, when I was looking at doing this course and the material in the course, I didn't understand a lot of it. Hey, Raw Dog. What have you missed, Raw Dog? Well, good news. And this good news is for Rushcliffe and me. And that's a bonus. Bok Bok, wait, so you haven't got a job. Who's paying the wage? Well, to tell you who's paying the wage is the business. And help from Sarah, help from some other woman, and moving forward, there will be sign off. So when I'm doing these videos for you, I'm also doing the code at the same time. And what we got? You're making no sense. AI has been named in the paperwork. So has YouTube. And that's the way forward. Dan is saying, oh, hold on, I've missed Box. Okay, so how's the business making money? How does any business make money? How? It makes money by little short clips of a said business. Little shorts on YouTube, 3 minutes long or 90 seconds, full impact. And people spreading the word, not just in the United Kingdom, beyond. I had a beautiful email today to do with Geordie Nation. Beautiful. Since, that I can do something, so I'm going to do it. What else we got? You made even less sense. You're talking to a person, right, who has dyslexia and learning disabilities, and you're saying that the thought of using artificial intelligence to build a company doesn't make any sense. Why? You see, those projects that are on GitHub, they're not just there to stand in the corner and collect dust. GitHub is a library. That is quite correct. It is a library. But in that library, it's telling people the business plan. Now, sometimes that business plan involves things like JavaScript, React, Vibe, Vite, CSS, but it doesn't always. And that's what I'm saying is, Benny, so you haven't got a job? Yes, I have. It's unofficial paperwork. So moving forward, it's twofold. And by twofold, one is you, good people. There's 17 here, and I've only got one of them. Yeah, there's 17 of you here. YouTube needs to boom. And how it's going to go boom is this. The code. Everybody's been talking about, go back to the course and finish the course. Spot on. Yes, finish the course, get the certificate, and in the time between doing that is carry on doing YouTube and grow. The more it grows, the more people see. Not just here, in Germany, France, Belgium, Holland, Denmark, etc. And you grow until you get to the point where you can say, I don't need that anymore. Sign off. And then the hard work begins. Right. Are you still doing the gaming? Yes, I need a faster PC than what I've currently got. I have laptop with a Ryzen 5. The disappointing, the downside. Ryzen 5 and the graphics, not the graphic, the memory is 8, which is abysmal. If you have a job, you've signed off. Working towards doing that. Continue in the course, finish the course, get the blooming certificate, stick it up on the wall in a frame, and while that's all happening, the apps, they come out. You said for years, Paul. No, Danny. What I say on video cannot be messed around. You can remix, yes, you can. But what I'm saying in video can't be. You can slice it and slice it. You can. But I'm saying working within the artificial intelligence arena. And then you've also got what Biavakin does. Create a game. And that's what I was looking at last night. I have Unity. I also have Blender. I just haven't used them. Now, what we got? Paul, calm down. Just because you are 78 does not... Yeah, guess what? Guess what? There you go. Just for your trouble. Now, what's Jeremy saying? I'm confused. Has Paul got an actual contract of employment? Jeremy, one thing, and let's be honest. Now, I came forward in late March and said a couple of things. www.seeking-u.org was coming. I also said www.jody-nation.co.uk was also coming. Now, they had an agenda. Both of them had one single agenda. And that was to promote. Yeah. And I got a little bit excited when one of the many, there's many of them, AI said loads and loads and loads of code. More code than I could ever. I can only think of certain ones. HTML, CSS, I'm struggling. Yeah, you've got that. It's nailed on. I'm struggling. Yeah. So there's more than 2 or 3, right? But here's the problem. I made a request. And that request was, have a look and help me fix this. What happened? What happened? The truth is somebody decided, yep, I'm having that. He hasn't got a Scooby-Doo, not a Scooby-Doo. So I'm having that. And I'm going to make every dream I've ever had possible. Yeah. One thing they forgot, which I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a meeting. I don't know when, but there's going to be a meeting. And in that meeting, everything I've said tonight and in yesterday's will come up in that meeting. There's a reason why. Because if something's wrong, do something about it. Now, me myself personally, yeah, I've got another call Friday. This Friday. I don't know if it's morning or if it's afternoon. But I do know this much. An issue vanishes. It isn't there no more. So as you're sitting there watching me on your mobile phone or your laptop, or some people watch us on TV, I don't know. Just know this, that the games, they're important. And the apps, they're bloody important. And the reason why, the domain. I bought the domain. So people can try and spin a fast one. Yes. Be my guest. See, my nana always used to say to me as a kid growing up, you give people enough rope, they're going to do something wrong, and take it how you want. So what we got here, Paul, should have been registered company. No. First, I have to get a target, a clear target. So the app goes live, people pile in, create their accounts, they create traffic because they're sending a message to Betty round the corner, and it grows. Then, and only then, you've got the numbers to back up when you do go to company house and turn around and say, I wish to register this. Because you've got to show in 1 year what's going on. Where's the money flow? The money is companies advertising their space on your platform. That's advertising. The bigger the company, the more they pay. If you're a little company, 10 to 20 people, you get a bargain. Advertising space in cyberspace. And you may not agree. No, you may not agree. But this is the way forward. Because, well, I've listened to about 30 different people. And some of those people go to really important places, like one example, just one. You ever heard of Davos? Anybody ever heard of Davos in chat? Huh? Do you know where it is? Do you know what happens there? So here's the thing, Penny. Doesn't matter how many companies are on the second. Doesn't matter. It never did. And this meeting I'm going to be having, the information is already here. It's on video. And video doesn't lie. So those people who, grab that and run like hell, you can't. You never could. And that's the greatest part. You can only run until you hit water. Then you've got to make a choice. They have pulled it up and it's running. You're very correct, Benny. You are spot on. It's just one little tiny thing. And that was mentioned earlier. So I'm not going to mention it again. You want to find out what I mentioned earlier? Watch 11:30's video and find it. Because I'm not going to do that. One thing I am going to do is I'm chatting to a lot of different people, and a new community of 1.4 million just opened up last night. And that's for just Streets of Home, Street Racer, the motorcycle racing game, and United Boat Builders Cup only. So anybody that thinks it ain't gonna happen, what we got? Do you have good lawyers? I will have the best. And I'm not going to tell you how. And that's all I'm going to say on that. What's the end goal? Employing as many people as is humanly possible in Rushcliffe and then in Newcastle upon Tyne. That was the sole goal right from the start. That's the call. And you grow from the call. But some people decided their reason is their reason. Right, where are we going? Gammon, you can't even get yourself employed. Paperwork has been signed. Right, what we got? I heard the developers have a good, yeah, they possibly could. Yeah. But you see, I look at the fine detail. Yeah. And that's what I mentioned earlier. The fine detail. You see, it's not just about writing an idea down. Where is it? Yeah. Here's a tiny example for you. It's only tiny. And that's up there. Doc type. Yeah. Right there. It's tiny. It's minute. But here's one point. If you haven't got that, yeah, you tell me how you build. Because you can't. It might not be worth sharing your ideas going forward. The best ideas are already out on the internet. And some of those ideas are worth a staggering amount. But you don't know where they are. Well, 32K, as who is it? Bok is asking. 32K sits currently, as I speak right now, on Waves dot exchange. To get it working on there is a very simple process. Mega simple. And it's this. I use capital from an AI business, YouTube, use capital from there, and I plow it into ETH, and then I send that to the Waves. And I buy one of theirs just for the same value that I've just got. So there you go. The screen would have to be absolutely huge to get any benefit. There are parts to 32K I will never speak on camera about. And those parts aren't even on GitHub. They are written down, but they're written somewhere you will never find. If you're on benefits, struggling for food. Yeah, shortly I'm going to have some tea because I'm blooming starving. But I said I was going to do a second video. Yes, I'm a tiny bit late, but still, yeah. Now, 13 people in here, and I've got 3 likes. Let's get something smart. Yeah. Those who don't believe, and there's going to be a few here. Benny's one of them. Yeah. Many moons ago, when I changed from ADI to PCV, people didn't believe then either. Do you know why they didn't believe? Because they're listening to the mate next door, and their mate next door's turning around and saying, "Whoa, listen to what he's on about," because you don't have ambition. You know, people look at places. A classic example for you. Who in the region of Benwell, just off the West Road, who owns the majority of the estate? Come on. Of course it has. But who's that one? David R. By the time we come to Christmas, there'll be seeking you dash 90 billion. Possibly. But I don't care. I really don't care. The thing that got me yesterday, asking for help and then someone going, "Thank you very much, I'll have that." And I now know a damn sight more information than I knew when you told us last night. One thing I can tell you is, moving forward, I'll show you once it's up, once it's done, and not before. Because when you burn them, or you burn them once, I'm really angry. Do you know why? Because them ones there, yeah, If I can't play guitar, then you know about it. Keen, I'll tell you something right at the end of the day. The best bit of advice I can give you, and I'll say this to every single person right in chat now. If you don't believe, I can't help you. You see, I said to the job centre, going back to last year, and I turned round and I said to them, there's a lad, please check, please fact check. It's called Matt Armstrong. Lives in Leicester. And he has 2 channels. And he has 5 million subscribers. And at the time, they were saying, oh, YouTube's not a job. Well, I beg to differ, because if a man from Leicester within the United Kingdom can do something and people like the content, you can earn a living. And I think I might be right in this one. I think I am. That's 100 grand a month. You can't live on 100 grand a month. Something seriously wrong, man. Have you asked seeking you for no? Benny, you've got this fascination, this absolute fascination. So I'm going to let you toddle on with your fascination. Beer Vegan, Blue Van Man, best YouTuber from Leicester. Blue Van Man. No. Best one from Leicester is Matt Armstrong. There is no honour amongst thieves. Oh, I beg to differ. When I was growing up, you never stole anything from those less fortunate than yourselves. If you did go and do something completely dumb and stupid, you made sure they had enough money to cover. So you're saying there, have you no, I haven't. I can't release the stuff I want to until the end of this month, unless somebody decides to send me a huge mega super chat. But you're not going to do that. You see, I've kind of worked things out, and I said to you ages and ages ago, I'd go all the way through to Christmas of 2025 and beyond. And the Geordie Nation will have content. The music, well, you already know that's going to have content. So that'll be 3. And here's the best bit. The other will be crisscrossing everywhere. So because of that, the people who know me from these videos, this channel, they're going to know a different side. So, it's all out in the public domain because you're watching on YouTube. Yeah. Right, what we got? Paul, is the earth flat? No. There's lots of videos about the earth being flat. People talk about the Loch Ness Monster from Scotland. Yeah, Loch Ness. And, makes you wonder, but do you believe? Do you really believe? You discriminate against us because we are all women. Where was that? Yeah, where? Was it a figment of imagination? Because anybody can do what I'm trying to do. That was the whole point of it. Oink. Oh, hey, you know what it is, man. You ain't in the playground no more. None of you are. I wished all that time ago I'd have turned around and went, I'm not going to the career centre. I'm going into sixth form. And then college, then university. Perfect. Didn't happen though. Because things went against us. Did you know the moon moves? Of course the moon moves. What it doesn't do, the moon does not. Yeah. Yeah, well, do you know that Bok Bok, there's a very, very famous character who says exactly the same thing what you just said there. Watchmen is the film. And the guy who wears the mask, where the mask like changes as he's fighting, he says that exact line when he pours something nasty over a fellow inmate. How about... No, David, no. Upvoted. What does that mean? Do you mean that the moon doesn't get the spinning loading wheel? No, I said the moon does not do that. It doesn't. The side we see of that moon up in the big sky, we see the same side every time. Tidal lock. Right. But what about the Magpie Show? Glad you asked. That is within what's going to happen. See, last night I came across something, and I'm not telling you, so don't ask. But the community is 1.4 million strong. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Right, what we got? I asked this morning, what are the future plans to bring out the better version? One where you can actually click that login button. And then you can create an account. If you have a business, you can create a business page. So that's my plan. Oh, Benny, just for you. Just for you. Do you know what that is? Yeah? Do you know what that is? Huh? Playing a lovely tune, man. Because the people I'm talking to now, they're sitting up and taking the information in. Like I said earlier, on my paperwork, it says A, I, and YouTube. That is there. It's in black and white. So when Benny goes on about, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, sorry, but it's not. Because the original plan comes out. And if there is what Benny just said there, somebody, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead. Because at the end of the day, evidence. I have lots of evidence. And I've also got something else. They have got, oops, that's all they've got. See, there is some bits, and some of those bits you will never know about until they've happened. Why? Because, like I say, Benny was, I think it was Benny that said it yesterday. Oh, this is now live. So, yeah. And that's why some things you will see could, you will see less than A and more than and other things on screen. You will see that. You will see hour, 2, 3 or more where there's a camera here or there and it's looking straight there. So what I'm typing, you see. Because there is people here who just don't believe. So you put it there in the video and you do share it there, share it there, share it there, share it down there. Yeah. You're not believing, you're not taking stuff seriously, but you're not in the same group as other people in Germany, in France, in Portugal, in Greece, in Malta. You can't be everywhere. I can. I am. I chose that years and years ago. Ideas need to be shared, not what happened. You share together and you grow. But that didn't happen. So I learned. I've actually learned a few things. I've learned, like, I don't get frustrated when I'm doing code. I just sit there, listen to Rob, boom, and then share it. If I do a test, boom, it's there. And that is how I want you to think. So if I'm going to do a, CSS or PHP. Couldn't tell you where it is right now. Couldn't. But when I get there, I will. Let it, Paul, let is write a biography of you. No. What you do isn't coding. Excuse me, Bjorn. That right there is code. It is. It's a tiny, tiny percent. Yes. There are take into account when the very first thing happened, 7,173 lines. I was like, and then looking at the game, yeah, Streets of Home game. People were saying 50, is it 50,000 or is it 50 million lines in some games? That's a lot of lines. But where I am is on the baby step of the ladder. And I've got one direction, just the one. If I want to get to the next level, I've got to go 1, 2, 3 and climb. And that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Will you make a new game to complete with... No. Too big a brand. You look like you just did a line. Is that right? Okay. See how you like it. You didn't even finish your... I didn't do them. I was just before that. So, yeah, what else we got? How many jobs will Streets of Home create? At a rough guess, just a rough guess, 300. Because it's not just Newcastle upon Tyne. It's not just Nottingham. The extra jobs is people going out to this place and doing a video on it. So they can go back to their computer and do the code. Benny is saying 300. Ha ha ha. You see, Benny, I don't need to prove, you just, why you're here is beyond me. And I'll tell you what I think. I think, let's wind him up. Let's wind him up and see what it does. But you will never get that reaction. And you never will. I will just keep moving forward until I get this certificate, or if I get certificates, I have no idea. Get that, then put all of the information from here straight down on the keyboard, bosh, bosh, bosh. So you don't have to believe. And it may be 10, maybe 15 years down the road when I'm in a different country and still doing it live. And so there'll be people like BFA can turn around and say, oh, that's CGI. I know that because you're about as easy to read as a kid's book. I'll start believing when you find work. Well, what I'm going to say to you is this. If you honestly think at the end of the day that 2025 Christmas, 2026 April and beyond, there's not going to be better things, you're the one who's dreaming, because it's right in front of your face. Here's an example for you. Many times I've said two things. One is Geordie Nation. The second is Seeking You. What was the core? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Give me the core in chat. Let's see what we've got. So Jack's comment is, I'm a robot. Come on, give me the answer. Oh, see, that's my point. 30 seconds. And all I keep getting in chat is the sequel to this, the sequel to that. And here's the honest answer. Doing a search yesterday, somebody paid money. Now, the thing what they've got to worry about is when this happens at the end of the month. And yeah. Now, what we got? Jeremy's saying, I'm still confused about this AI YouTube. Jeremy, what seems to be the issue? AI between 30 experts. Now, these experts go on to big shows. Here's an example. Bloomberg TV. Yeah. CNN, Squawk Box, and others. They are saying the AI will have a market cap, and it's in a range which is in trillions. It's in dollars. We can't spend them, but we can earn them and then go to the Bureau de Exchange and go, yeah, There's all my dollars. And they give you pound sterling. Think about it. Right. Who in a... Not even going to entertain that. The market cap will be earned. Incorrect. Who owns the internet? Be a Viking. Who owns the internet? In who is said, you're not building an AI. Beg to differ. Check previous live videos. It's all there. I hate nothing. No one owns the internet. Well, according to, who was it? Who just said that? Yeah, Bear Viking says Google, Twitter, and Facebook. Shock horror. But I'm going to let you all chat about it. I'm hungry, so I'm going to have some food. Now, there's 24 of yous here. 1 minute. And I want as many of them in 1 minute. I'm watching the time, just so you know. There's one. By gum, man. It's like trying to pull teeth out of a great white shark without getting bitten. 27 and 6. 7. Ooh, we're climbing. So we've only got another 20 to match how many's in. Oh, hey. Do you know? You know when you give the down? Yeah? That one there? Do you know when you give that? The algorithm doesn't care. And that's the honest answer. 8. So, last 30 seconds. 9. This is like jumping in the water in the water there, and saying, "Oi, great white, come here. I'm gonna pull a couple of your teeth out." And here's the crazy part. Even when I'm in other YouTube channels and I'm in their live, and I'll see how many people are in the live. Say there's 600, 800, 1,000 plus. Do you know what I turn around and say when I'm in chat? I look at how many likes and I go, come on, pull your finger out. Why do I do that? So I help the channel. Because them both count. Now, see everybody tomorrow. And have a beautiful evening. Because I'm excited for what's going to happen. You don't believe? That's your lookout. And your luck. So, thanks everybody. And like, subscribe so we can